Hi, it's Oluchi, and this is saying it as it is. So I've never done a podcast before, obviously, and to be honest, when I wanted to start, I was very, very, very nervous. And I know I put it out on my Twitter that my Twitter page that I was going to start one, but I was so scared to be honest because I've always had this thing where I believe I'm not capable of doing certain things. If you know me from Twitter, you might think, oh, I don't tweet like that. But in reality, I'm a very, very, very shy person and I overthink. Like, I always feel like anything I do might not work out, but I promise to push myself more. And that is why I started this. And I didn't start it just because, oh, I wanted to. I started it because there was someone who kept on motivating me and told me that, oh, you can actually do this. So this is me doing it. And someone asked me something recently. The person was like, Oluchi, what are you grateful for? 2025. Let me start. The most important thing I am grateful for is my life, to be honest, because this year was a lot. I quit my job early this year because it was, is it early this year or earlier this year? Anyone, English is not my first language. Excuse me. But I I quit my job early this year. It was very, very unfortunate because I really wanted to earn money and it was quite stressful and the pay was quite low. When I wanted to quit, I had some people tell me, oh, don't quit here till you get a job. But my father said something. He was like, Oluchi, what's the point of working and by the end of the month you have nothing to show for it? Because I was working from 9 to 5 and I was still begging for transport money. If you go on my tail, you can see tweets of me talking about this. And I had friends that were always supporting me with transport fare. And I just sat down and I was like, what's the point of like going to work, like working, buying outfits with money that people were dashing me just to look good at work? And it was not worth it. So what am I grateful for again? Life. I'm still alive. That means I still have chance to make it big. And the second thing I'm grateful for, my dad. My dad has been amazing. Like I love him so much. I really, really love that guy. He has been so, so helpful and he has supported me in ways I can't just express. And I'm very grateful for my friends. My mom died, and my friends have been so amazing. I want to give a shout out to my best friend Oida and my very good friend Halima. I love you both. So I'm grateful again for the fact that I don't look like what I'm going through. To be honest, a lot of people would probably see me and think, oh, my life is good. It's far from that. But like I said, I'm grateful for the fact that I do not look like my problems. You know, a lot of people look like their problems, to be honest, especially in this Lagos. I swear to God, if some people tell you their problems, you'll be like, oh, more, you did not need to tell me. I saw it already. Don't worry. You are good. You are fine. So, the last thing I'm grateful for is the fact that I met people who were very kind to me, especially on Twitter, where I really met people who were kind, who are still kind to me, and I'm forever grateful. So that's enough with always being a sweet person. So another thing I would like to talk about is the fact that um I see some things about myself on Twitter, not like I care, to be honest. I'm just saying it because I feel like it has to be said. And we're already in a new year. And I believe that some things need to be said. I really don't like when people call me certain names because that's not what. what I am. I'm very opinionated, and I feel like sometimes I just say things as they are. That is where I got my podcast name, mind you. I got it from saying it as it is. Yes. So people say, oh, I'm vile, I'm bitter. I don't think that's like the best way to describe me. And I feel like if you call me a hater, you actually be right, because to be honest, I hate a lot of things. But I think from next year, I'm going to be less hateful. Not like I am a hater. I am a hater. So yeah. And there are some things about me. I want to tell you guys 3 random things about me before I go into today's episode. It's already an episode, though. Before I go into today's topic, 3 random things. I love to eat and I love to cook. And I enjoy spending time alone. Like, I enjoy my company so much. And the last thing about me, I do not like going going out or going anywhere without making my bed. I don't care if I'm late, I must make my bed before I leave the house, because I can't stand the thought of like coming back from anywhere and meeting my bed unlaid. It's going to really piss me off. So yeah. So today I'll be talking about something, or I'll be asking questions. I don't know anyone. Oh, I forgot to mention, I actually like teaching kids. At first, I didn't like it, to be honest, but I think I enjoy it. So I'll be talking about something. It has been something that has been on my mind, and I really wanted to talk about it and ask people what they think about it. Because anytime I see it, I'm always confused. Like, what are we really talking about? Like, what do we mean by this particular word or words together? So for starters, I want to ask, bare minimum, like, whenever you hear bare minimum, what comes to your mind? Because to me, whenever I hear it, or whenever I've seen tweets about it, it's always about things that shouldn't be like um too much for people to do, is like the basic stuff, if I'm not mistaken. So I really want to ask that, what do you guys think about bare minimum? For me, I feel that like there's a problem with the word in it on its own. But then again, I feel sometimes you can actually clap for a fish that swims, if that makes any sense. In the sense that there are things that you are meant to do, but you doing them, you get, also attract some kind of applause. So, for example, you have a child and your child is very well behaved. Mind you, you are raising them right. You get, because a lot of parents raise their children right, but they don't turn out okay. So you have a child that you raised right, and that child is turning out okay. Do you feel like it's bare minimum to expect good behavior from children because, oh, your children are behaving right? Or, like, I'm just trying not to confuse myself here. But then again, let's keep that aside and talk about relationships and what people feel bare minimum in relationships are, that might be grand gestures to people. Hmm. This might get me a lot of hate, but I'm sure Oluchi is used to that. I'm used to that, for real, to be honest. But there's one particular thing that really gets me like puzzled. Is it puzzled that you use? English is failing me. Oh. Anyway, back to the conversation. When we talk about bare minimum, is there like, I feel like there's some certain kind of expectation when you use the internet a lot and you are seeking romantic relationships. I feel like there's so much things we consume that makes us forget that people are actually human beings. And mind you, Nigeria is like the poverty capital of the world. We are so poor in this country. So there are some things I see when people say, oh, it's just bare minimum. And I'm like, nope, it's not. One thing I always see that people say, oh, it's bare minimum is when someone goes out of their way to do things for you, and you are forgetting that Nigeria is so hard, especially for we young people. Some of us have to have like two, three jobs just to make ends meet. And then someone does something for you because it's not like social media worthy. You feel like, oh, it's bare minimum. Oh, this is what you're meant to do. Yada, yada, yada. So back to what I wanted to ask. Do you do you sometimes feel like you water down someone's efforts or sacrifices because it's bare minimum? Or like I really want to know, I want to ask before, like what do you think is bare minimum? Is there a gauge? Is there a measurement? Because tell me why someone feels like, oh, he has to get me flowers every week. It's bare minimum. Oh, she has to wash my clothes every week. Oh, it's bare minimum. Oh, things we do for our partners. But you're forgetting that there are sacrifices being made by different people, and it's not easy for anybody. I'm not saying that there are some things that are not expected from your partners. Please don't get me wrong, but I'm just asking, like, what is the gauge for bare minimum? Like, this is me being like honest about this whole conversations, because when I see some things bare minimum, you don't make any form of sacrifices. You've never sacrificed for your friends. And when they do things for you, you say, oh, that's bare minimum. That's like a normal thing to do. But you're forgetting that people actually have things that really take a lot from them. Now, for family, I see some things and I'm like, especially when it's like siblings related. I'm not talking about your mother or your father. No, those ones owe you certain things. But then again, you can also appreciate their efforts because I don't know, that's like right thing to do. So for siblings, I see some things on Twitter concerning siblings, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. We have siblings that are entitled to their siblings' money. Weird, but then again, everybody has different family dynamics. I won't be putting my mouth there. So I want to ask some questions, especially for like dating. Do you think big proposals and a very big ring is the bare minimum? Would you um put it on that? Oh, that's like the normal thing this man is meant to do. Then push gifts, are they bare minimum? Is this something that is required from your partners? Women, I'm asking you. And then dating allowance, is it bare minimum? Is it something that you're meant to say, oh, I deserve it. I am meant to get it. It is for me. Yeah. Is it bare minimum? And then what do you think about dating allowance? I've always wondered, like, dating allowance, is this something that should be encouraged or not? But we're not going to that. Please, let's stick to it. Oluchi, shut up. Um, I think I don't want to like speak too much on this, but I feel my only problem with this whole bare minimum thing comes from how it is being said and how it's stated in a very condescending manner, where people say, "Oh, that's just bare minimum. That's what you're meant to do." I think that's my major problem with it, is the manner in which people keep like repeating, "Oh, it's bare minimum. It's something I'm meant to do." So I'm just asking, there are things that are expected of all of us in life, from your lovers, from your siblings, from your parents. But I want to know, what is the measurement? Like, what do you really say? Oh, this is bare minimum. This is expected. What do you say is, because I think I will take it really personal if I make certain sacrifices for people and they say, oh, that's bare minimum. It's not a big deal. I think I'll get super, super, super offended. But then again, we're in a generation. I don't want to say a generation. I think it's just because a lot of us consume a lot of things, especially online, and we really allow it in a way subconsciously enter our lives. And because I feel there are still a lot of decent people that understand sacrifices, that understand that people do things because they really care about you and they feel you deserve it. So I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to bore you guys, but we really need to understand, or I really want to understand what people mean by, oh, this shit is bare minimum. And we need to know what, where do we put these bare minimum things in relationships, in marriage, in family, in friendships. I really want to know. And this is us having a conversation. So we're going to answer, we're going to talk about it on on the timeline via our community. We're just going to speak. But in all sincerity, I need to know if there's like a threshold for bare minimum, and you guys just need to like tell me what you feel about this. And I would like to say a very big thank you to all of you on Twitter, like people that like me. I really appreciate all the support. And it was crazy because when I started my community, I really didn't expect that 300 people will be in it. I'm super, super grateful. And I just want to say that I really hope I keep giving you guys something to talk about. But before I end, you guys need to tell me, what do you think should be considered as bare minimum? And is there a measurement of like what bare minimum is? So thank you all for listening. I really appreciate, and I hope this year turns out to be a great year for all of us. Please take care of yourselves and don't forget that you matter. Bye, guys.